15 hilarious dog haircuts. Have you ever thought about being creative and shaving or coloring your dog in a way that would make him stand out from the pack? Well, maybe it would make your pup stand out from your neighborhood, or even at the dog park. But if you're dreaming it, it's probably already been done. Here, we have some of the rather interesting, some cute, some not doggy styles. Welcome to hilarious dog haircuts. Number 15. Poor guy. This contrast looks pretty hilarious, but it almost seems like he could have been born this way. We're assuming that the owners just cut down all of the fur everywhere else, besides his head and face, and then just left the hair in those places long. But who knows? There is an excellently blended color change going on from the paws to its little puppy elbows, so we can't say for sure. Either way, this puppy is cute, and it's not like it notices that it may look a little funny. All this dog knows is that it's going to be a good summer now that all of its layers have been removed. Number 14. Rat Dog. So with the last one, it was kind of hard to tell if it was just a shave job or not. But with this one, the shaving is quite apparent, and it looks pretty ridiculous. It seems like this is a combination of animals. Dog at the head, rat in the body, giant rabbit in the tail. While there may have been some medical reason for this, and we're not sure what they could have done differently, it's still a little more than comical. Good thing this dog probably doesn't understand how goofy it looks. Otherwise, it might be a little angry at its owners. Heck, if anyone screwed up our hair this bad, we'd go back and demand a refund, all while trying to control ourselves from walking to the back and snipping the stylist's hair as her payback. Number 13. That looks ridiculous. Look at this little face. Look at all that big hair. Now, we know that this really isn't a haircut that gave this guy or gal this look, but it's funny enough that we had to include it. This wig is almost as bad as our Commander-in-Chief's, and we're not sure whether it makes this pup look ridiculous or not. Hear us out. Justin Bieber had this haircut for years, and look where he's at now. Maybe this style will work out for the dog as it did Bieber, and we'll see this thing on the international stage sometime soon. Bieber versus dog. We taking the dog. Number 12. Such a square. Okay, so we know this became a thing for like 2 seconds, but really, is it necessary to do this to your poor dog? Just look at how sad he looks. While dogs more than likely don't understand what happens when we take them to get their hair cut, and if they saw themselves in the mirror post-operation, they wouldn't be able to realize anything had changed, if they even see themselves at all. This dog does not look happy. To our knowledge, dogs aren't really supposed to be cube heads, and if something like this were to happen naturally, we'd need to rush them in ASAP. This is almost as bad as a bowl cut on a human. Cube cut. How strange. Number 11. We thought we already passed the rat dog. This poor puppy almost looks like it could be its dog rat rabbit's brother, and we still don't understand. It would probably be pretty impossible to shave down all the hair on this dog's head and face. But couldn't those who did the shaving at least trim all that long hair down or something? It's funny how you never realize how skinny animals really are until they lose their big fluffy coat. While this pup most definitely isn't a big dog in the first place, it looks even smaller and less menacing than if they just left all that fur alone. We don't know whether these owners just have a great sense of humor or if they're sick, torturous monsters. Number 10. Don't feed it after midnight. Now, some of you young guns might not understand what we're talking about, so let us learn you something. There was a movie that came out in 1984, a movie called Gremlins, and this little doggo looks a lot like the tiny scary antagonist in said movie. Sure, they start out looking like Furbies, but feed them after midnight and you got a big old set of problems on your hands. That's what this dog looks like, the product of what happens when you feed one of those bad boys after midnight. This gremlin is kinda cute though, although it most definitely doesn't look all that happy. Number 9. How? Some people are born to be rock stars, some authors, others laborers. But then you see something like this, and you realize that some people were born to cut and design dog fur. Without a doubt, this dog would be quite normal looking without all of the, well, flair. But then it wouldn't stand out, and it probably wouldn't have made it on the internet. Who thinks of things like this? Who one day just decides, oh hey, I'm gonna make my dog a cow today? The pink colored belly and the cowbell really sell the thing though, and this pup could probably walk out into the fields with all the other cows and go unnoticed. He or she is quite cute, but who in the world has the time for the upkeeping of this thing? Not us, that's for sure. Number 8. A dragon. Well, this thing has a haircut resembling a dragon, and you know what they say, if it has a haircut that looks like a dragon, it must be a dragon. For real though, look at how much tinier this dog is when it's just shaved. This puppy lost somewhere between 3 and 4 inches, which you can see with this little mohawk. We like how the owners just left the tail long as well, because it helps the dog become very linear looking with just this simple cut. We'll bet that it's going to be much happier with its skin getting a little breathing room. However, having that much fluff in one line down your back could get really annoying. This had to be one fluffy dog pre-shaving. Number 7. Suspenders. Now, we know that the dog owners of this dog were probably going for a fancy, refined look for their pup, but for some reason, this just reminds us of a farmer. Yeah, overalls can be fancy, and maybe it's just the color of this pup's coat, but there's something about the cut that looks dirty, and like he's been working out in the land all day. Maybe if the dog's coat were black, it would look a bit more dapper, but we may have to call this one a fail, considering he looks like you'd find wandering around in the dog version of No Country for Old Men. Just saying. Number 6. Is this real? Whoa, let's just take a moment to look at this poor dog. If it's really a dog at all. Doesn't this almost look like a stuffed animal? How and why would one even go about cutting their pet's fur like this? It looks like a series of cubes just pieced together. Yes, we know that's what it's supposed to look like, and we don't know if we like it or not. This dog looks completely ridiculous, but there's also something about it that is pretty awesome. It sort of looks like he was pulled from a video game from the 90s, through the TV and into real life. It's like the graphics on reality suddenly went bad, and this dog is now stuck with these sharp corners and edges, and like it's not a dog at all. Whoever thought this hair cut up must be really weird. Number 5. Simba. Let us all bow down to the king of the backyard. This haircut actually looks pretty great on this good old golden retriever mastiff mix. He looks so majestic and regal, and like he's definitely the king of all he surveys. We're sure the owners were the ones who decided to have their pup shaved like this, and they seem to know that this specific cut would work pretty darn well for their dog. Just look at that mane. While this one isn't weird, we guess it's an example of when dog haircuts don't go wrong, something everyone should aspire for when getting their pet shaved. It's better than Suspenders, that much is for darn sure. Number 4. Panda dog. Well, this one's pretty cute, we're not gonna lie. Just look at how poofy his head is. Look at that cute little mug that's cleverly disguised to look like a panda. Hopefully, if this is a dye job, they use something that's animal safe. This fluffy little guy would definitely pass as just another panda if we spotted him out in the wilds of China. That is, until he started running around and barking. This look is just silly and definitely fun, and whoever did it did a pretty darn good job. Number 3. LOLs. These people either really love or really hate their dog. We don't feel they could be anywhere in between here. The good news for the owner though is that this pet had the perfect amount and type of fur for this haircut. It's actually really a cute cut, and it's surprising that we don't see more of this. Just look at how camel-like this pup seems. It's incredible that the proportions seem to work out correctly as well to create, well, a mini camel. We do doubt though that this puppy would make it very long in the desert though. So although they've got the look down pat, they can't change everything. Number 2. Dear Diary, mood apathetic. This is the latest news. Dogs would be non-conforming too if they looked just like this dog. If that doesn't make sense, look up the emo song. Seriously though, we're super jealous of this great cut and how good it looks on this tiny little thing. His or her haircut would have been envied like crazy back in the early to mid 2000s. How did the owners or the dog groomer get this cute pup's hair to do this? These are questions we have because honestly, this dog's good hair day is probably better than any of our own. Number 1. Puke. Is this even legal? Like, it doesn't constitute as animal cruelty or something? Like, geez Louise, who has the time or money for something like this, let alone the desire to make their dog look utterly ridiculous? The rest on this list were all fun and games, but this goes above and beyond that. This poor dog was made to walk around like this, and who knows for how long? Not to mention his little friend sitting right there in the trash can. How does one even go about squeezing so many Sesame Street characters into one dog? And where in the world would they come up with this idea? There are a lot of dogs who get characters and colors and cuts like this put on them, and it's horrendous. Maybe they're totally fine and unaffected, but their egos really have to take a hit over something like this. It's a disgusting, muddled mess of colors, and faces we don't even know what to think about. It's like a puke fest overboard, and this is taking dog grooming just a bit too far. Oh boy, it's also hard to wrap your head around, isn't it? Especially that last one. We still can't get over it. Would you do any of this stuff to your pets? Let us know in the comments, and while you're at it, give this video a like, and be sure to subscribe for more videos coming soon. Thanks for watching.